I've got to figure out if we can do a live stream with music, but that would be fun. So let's give this guy a minute to get started. I don't know if you guys can see me or not, but I think it's loading. There it is. We're live. Hey everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So as usual, I am probably not going to be able to see my own stream, but I have the chat open so I can see you guys and I can actually join in on the discussion. So be sure to hop on over, join the chat. I'm just going to give you guys a couple of seconds to get settled in. And in the meantime, get going at your wins for the week. Let me hear it. What are you sharing? What are you working on? What is so exciting that is happening now? I know a lot of exciting things are happening today. So I'm expecting a lot of you guys to get on here and share your wins, share the things that you are celebrating. So let me get some invitations out. Last week I got a couple of messages like, where is the stream? I'm like, we've moved. We're over on YouTube. Hop on over, come on down, come on in. We are live over here. But there's so much happening, so much cool stuff that I really like can't wait to share with you guys. I almost started a live stream earlier and then I said no, give it a minute because you're not gonna have anything to talk about tonight if you start spilling the beans right now. But I know I'm excited to share some stuff with you, and I know that a lot of you have a lot of stuff to share. So let's get the chat going. Let's see if this is working. Hey Jess, what's your win for the week? I know you've had this one for a long time and you probably shared it already, but share. Yes, I love all the emojis. So totally in there like swimwear. Yeah, we have some exciting stuff to share, some pretty cool stuff that I know you guys are excited about, that I'm looking forward to, especially with the weather we had today. To get the news that I got earlier today, in like, it was in New York, we had like, they told us we were gonna have a huge snowstorm. It didn't pan out to be anything huge, but not for nothing, this morning going into work, I was like, what have I done? What am I doing? Why am I going into work today? This is definitely a stay-at-home day, a pajama day like last week, but I went in anyway. And those huge flakes, the wind was super high, and I was like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in New York. I don't want to be at work. I just want to be somewhere else, somewhere warm and sandy and beachy. And without letting the cat out of the bag, good news came in. So I know a couple of you guys also had some good news coming in. So let's see who else is celebrating today. I know I cannot wait to share with you guys. I'm going to give it like one more minute just to give everyone a chance to hop on it, and then I'm going to let the cat out. But we're doing our wins. I will share with you what we're going to be discussing tonight. So I know you guys are like the suspense. Well, just knows. But our topic of discussion tonight is actually going to be how you can get out of your comfort zone. So I'm going to be sharing 6 tips for how to get out of your comfort zone. And these tips are tips that you could do across a week, or you could spread it out across a month. So if you are a person who is sort of inside of your comfort zone and looking at the things that you want to accomplish and thinking, you know, there's a disconnect between what I want and where I want to be and where I am now, and you're just like, I'm ready to do this, but I need to get out of my own way, this is going to be the chat for you. So this is going to be the how to get out of your own way chat when it comes to your comfort zone. Because not for nothing, we are the ones holding ourselves back in a lot of things. It's our own fears, which are all, you know, imaginary and inside of our head. It's our own worries, again, inside of our head. Our perception of ourselves, and, you know, again, inside of our head. So all of our mental pictures are projected outwards and they affect our situation and our surroundings. But there's a quote, and I never remember who quoted it, but or who said it that we now quote. You don't have to be a product of your circumstances. You can break out of that, and those are the stories that we love, aren't they? The people who overcome this situation, the underdog who nobody thought would be, at the top, and they just plowed ahead and got out of where they were. So I'm going to share some tips tonight, step by step, some tips that you can use to move slowly out of your comfort zone. And I just want you guys to know, though, that this is a work in progress for all of us, myself included. That's why I kind of made this list. These are things that I'm practicing with now because I've recently been talking about where I want to be and, just dying to get there. I'm like, you know what? I need to, as Craig Cushman says, create my own momentum. And all this time, I've sort of just been in the mindset where I'm like, oh, it's not the right time, or I can't. And it's just like, you know what, though? If I want it, I have to go get it. I need to start taking the action steps. And we talk about action steps all the time. We talk about goal setting all the time and moving towards the goals. But I'm like, I want to move faster towards my goals. So that's sort of where this list came from, and I'm excited to share it with you. So now it is 8:07. Let's do the wins for the week. So my win for the week, guys, is that I just won a trip to Bermuda. All expenses paid from Avon. I cannot express to you guys how excited I am. When I saw it this morning, I wanted just to be like, but I was at work and I just couldn't. My boss would be like, first of all, why are you on Facebook? You're so fired. Second of all, I would just like make everyone go crazy. But I am just so excited for this incentive. Like, I barely just like eat in, and I'll post pictures later on. But this is an incentive that I've actually been a little nervous about because the plans that I had set in place, and sometimes this happens. You set your plans, you're doing the action steps, but things that were just out of my control were happening, and I was just like, I just knows. I was like, I'm gonna need to start a prayer chain because I just but I am just so excited and relieved and thankful that I earned this, and I will be joining Jess on a cruise to the Bahamas, and you guys will start to see. I haven't even had a chance to share on Facebook, so you guys, aside from Jess, are like the first ones, and aside from my family, to hear about this. So brand new live, I am going to, I keep saying Bahamas because for like a whole year we were saying Bahamas, but I'm going to Bermuda. I have never been to Bermuda. I have never done a cruise before. This is the first time I'm doing it. And again, I am so thankful for this company because it is just full of firsts for me. My first trip out of the United States was to Tahiti with Avon. My first trip to Tahiti was with Avon. My first trip to Bahamas last year was with Avon. And now I am so, so thankful to say I'm going to Bermuda. I had to just remember the difference between Bermuda and Bahamas. The B's are killing me. I'm like, Avon, when we do trips, can we alternate the beginning letters so that I could remember where we're going? As if amazing, all expenses paid, beautiful cruise, all expenses paid to an exotic island, all expenses paid is not enough. Sometimes. But yay! So I want to know, you guys, share how many of you are going to be joining me and Jessica and a whole crew of other representatives on this trip. I want to know if you're, not too timid about letting people know that you'll be gone for a while and your house will be unattended. No, I'm kidding. But I mean, don't you guys just love this company that is willing to invest? Now, this is I think it was either $1,500 or $2,000 value for this trip, all expenses paid. And even though I'm in New York, I'm kind of thinking maybe I should fly to California just so that Avon could put me on a plane to send me back to New York so I can get on this cruise, because my ride is going to be like a cab from my house to, but I'll take that because it's all expenses paid. I don't know. I feel like I've had it bottled up inside all day because I couldn't just shout. And now I just want to be like, with screams. But I'll spare you guys your ears. So excited about that. I will be posting and sharing about that a little bit later, sharing some pictures, sharing my ranking, which literally just hit today, which is like the last day. So this whole time I was just like, that emoji that's like holding its breath with its cheeks red, that's how I felt for the last month. And now I'm just like, okay, I did it. Thank you, Jesus. I am here. I made it. Now just let me get on the boat. Let me not get seasick. Let me not have anything strange happen. Let me be healthy and happy and just enjoy this trip. I cannot tell you guys, like, you guys always hear me talk about RepFest and how awesome it is to be surrounded by other representatives and, business minded people, go getters, people who are working towards building their business and who are invested in it. It's the same thing with these trips that Avon lets us earn, except that it's all expenses paid. But just I love being around people. The only thing is that I'm a little bit bummed about is that I didn't want a trip for two, so I can't bring my bestie because it's always fun to travel with her. And I'm kind of sad that I didn't get to bring her, but I am, just excited to have won something at this point. And I will also be doing a video because there were other things that you won along the way. There were, and I know a lot of you earned this, so you guys need to be celebrating about this too. There was I think it's a makeup case, a wallet, and a suitcase, something like that. Correct me, guys, if I'm wrong. I don't have the window open here, but yes, I do. I can't even show you guys my desk, but the prizes were an Avon beauty case, level 1, an Avon tote, level 2, an Avon carry-on suitcase, level 3, and then the trips either for 1 or for 2. So on your way to earning the trips, you earn all this other stuff too. And I have to say that I love that because it's always kind of sad to me, and I get this from my mom because she's always like, why can't everybody win a little something? When you have races, relay races or Olympics, and there's someone who brings home, well, Olympics isn't even that bad because it's like a gold, silver, and bronze. But my mom is always like, for example, with the wrestling match, one guy wins, or with basketball and football, one team wins. And she's always like, can't everybody get a little something? And I'm like, first of all those guys in the big leagues, their paycheck is their winnings. But I love these incentives because Avon has said, this is the prize, but we're going to put other prizes. I don't even want to do this. This is the prize, but there are going to be other prizes along the way. So you could earn different things. So I know two ladies from my team won, I think, the beauty case and the Avon tote. So they're going to be toting around their brand new Avon stuff. And it's Avon swag. It's stuff that you can share and that you should be sharing that you earned. So I haven't, because I've just been so like about this trip. I honestly, I didn't want to talk about it. I was just like, nose to the grindstone. Let me just see if I can get it. But I earned it. So I'm excited. So for those of you who were tracking for this incentive share, if you won the beauty case, if you won the tote, if you won the suitcase, or if you won the trip, let us know, because this is a great opportunity and we really should be proud out loud about it, because I know for one, my day job is not sending me on exotic, all expenses paid trips around the world. I get maybe a cab ride. So thankful for that reimbursement, but it's nice to be in a company where you're appreciated. And it's one of the reasons I love Avon so much. And I am feeling comfortable getting out of my comfort zone, because this is the company that I believe in, that I love, that I support, that I feel, respect when I speak to people from the company, and love from and appreciation from other reps, the way we support and encourage each other. And this incentives like these is also a big way that I help. This is our topic of discussion. It's my notebook that has helped me to get out of my comfort zone. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more, but I just want to go on over to the chats. Love the emojis. Just yes, anchors away. Oh yes, and drinks. Frozen drinks. I can't wait. Cheryl Penn, thank you for joining us live. So welcome to Cheryl. She's live on the replay, not on the replay, I should say. So I'm so glad to have you live. Thanks, Jess. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you. Hey, Tammy, welcome. Miss Tammy is on too. Welcome to the stream. So, okay, so now that you guys are all on, I want to see your wins. Thank you, Miss Hannah, and welcome to our chat. Thank you for joining us live. So now that you guys are all getting the gist of our little move on over to YouTube, I'm still adjusting because YouTube doesn't have like, on Facebook, if you agree, you can put the thumbs up or the hearts. You don't have to physically type. The only way I can get feedback from you guys is if you type. So if you've got an idea, if you feel a certain way, if you like or don't like what I'm saying, please hop on over to the chat box. It should be here either at the bottom of your screen or at the side, depending on whether you're on desktop or phone. But be sure to comment in the chat box. Let me know that you're here, because I can't see who's on the stream unless you say so. It's, again, not like Facebook where I get a nice little list as you log in. So, if you're here, give me a quick hello. Hi, I'm here. How you doing? How you guys doing? And others on the chat can see your chat too, so you can get that conversation going just like we did on Facebook. There's just no no alerts for new viewers and no emojis that come across the screen, so I have to read what you guys are saying. So go crazy in the chat box. It is our communal conversation space, so chat on in there. Love to laugh. Welcome and thank you. I am excited and I am looking forward. My ultimate goal, like, even though I was really excited about earning this trip and hoping to earn it, my ultimate goal is to be able to travel with my teammates one of these days, to have other team members who earn it too, so that we can go together. So I'm still working on that, and hopefully we'll be able to get there together one day, someday soon. So why don't we go ahead and start with our topic of discussion for tonight: getting out of your comfort zone. So I kind of let it off tonight. It just happened to coincide with the announcement for the trip today, and then having chosen this as my topic of discussion. But one of the things that has helped me to get out of my comfort zone are incentives. And whether or not your company has incentives or your team has incentives, or you just create your own, sometimes just the confidence boost that comes with achieving something is a huge help to get out of your comfort zone. So it works in two parts. First and foremost, if you want to accomplish or achieve something, if you have that goal in front of you, you have something to work towards. So that is motivation enough to get you to do the things that you may be a little bit timid about doing, and break the chains of fear and anxiety and stress. And on the other hand, when you do something and you do get that feedback, that reward, that okay, I could do this. This is possible. I see the results, or I feel the respect and the recognition, or with incentives, it's just, for me, it's mostly just, wow, I didn't think I could do that. That's kind of cool that I did. But it's also, talking to a lot of people, sometimes people will say, oh, that's for the 1%. And I'm always like, no, Avon is such a great company. They put incentives out there for everyone to earn, whether you're brand new or, you've been around for a while. There are different things that you can earn. So when you start earning these things, it boosts your confidence. And it doesn't have to be a vacation. It could be, I remember back in the day in sales meetings, we used to give away like lipstick pens and mugs, little business tools, even just being able to leave a meeting and come home with that stuff, and show to my family, look, this is the stuff that I got, this is what my accomplishment is. Being able to post and share things that I've won or earned, people pay attention to that. So it helps boost your confidence to say, look, I'm doing something. Those are tangible ways to see your progress. So with your confidence, if you can see the progress level, a lot of times it just helps you to break out of the fear. And because the good outweighs the bad, feeling the recognition at the end of an incentive outweighs all of the nervousness that you had going in it and going through it. Earning a prize or a reward or a trip or a dinner or a luncheon, or just even a great job, congratulations, you did that. Hearing from your team, hearing from your upline and your mentor, your coach, seeing your name on a recognition board. Like for me in the beginning, I remember I used to look at representatives with their names on the board, and I used to think, wow, I want to be up there one of these days. I never really imagined how I could, but I, just kind of having that in the back of my mind was, it got me motivated to say, okay, what are the things that I have to do? Okay, that's a little bit scary, but I'll try it if it'll get me closer to my goal. So having and going for the incentives is a huge help. And you don't want to talk yourself out of going for them, because I've worked with a lot of reps who, before they even try, like from the jump, they're like, no, that's not for me. That's only for the married, the single, the people with children, the people without children, the people with extra time on their hands, the people who are doing this full time, the people who are doing it part time, the people who are upstate, the people who are down south. You know, there's always a reason. And if you let that happen, you'll just excuse yourself from everything. You'll take yourself, and I always say this, you don't want to take yourself out of the running for things before you even start. So I kind of love Avon and Senses for that. But here again are 6 things that I want you guys to practice. So get the pen and paper out, because these are actual to-do steps. These are things that you are going to implement and things that you are going to put in place over the course of this upcoming week, or the course of this upcoming month, because I want you guys to have action steps, things that you can do to start to produce results. Because when you put the pen to paper is when magic starts to happen. Thinking about it and leaving it all up here doesn't always breed results. You have to take the action. And before I get into this, I actually want to share a little testimony. I don't think I saw Sharina here tonight, but this past Saturday, our area had the Blab Like a Boss meeting. Sorry, Build Like a Boss workshop. So we had a little workshop here in the city, and I had invited a few representatives from my team, and one of them was Miss Sharina. Shout out to Miss Sharina. Sent me an awesome text, and I wanted to share that with you guys today, but I need to give you a little bit of backstory. So we had this meeting, and we were going through and hearing the testimonies of the speakers and the ideas and the motivation, and just it was like a really powerful, encouraging message. And one of the things that resonated, I mean, a lot of things resonated with me, but 2 things that stood out for me at least were, Craig Cushman said, you create your own momentum. Am I? It's Cushman, right? Cushman. I have to Google that. Wait, let me see. I don't want to be getting anyone's name wrong. Cushman, yes. He said, you create your own momentum. So it's not like you're relying on everyone else and the surroundings around you to be perfect. If you want something, you've got to go for it. You create that momentum. And it kind of reminded me of, do you guys remember America's Next Top Model, or any of those like modeling type of shows? When models walk, they kind of create their own wind. they I guess they pick up enough speed, or they have enough swag, I don't know, but they create that wind that moves their hair, so that even if there's not a fan blowing in front of them, they get the clothes to move and look beautiful according to how they walk. So when he said that, from visual learner, so hearing the words, visualizing the picture of someone creating their own momentum to glide elegantly and look gorgeous, it just made a connection in my brain. That's kind of what encouraged me to say, you know what, you have to start breaking out of your own mold. And the second thing that resonated with me was Walter Bracero. He said, you have to put things on your calendar. It's all well and good, you come and you take notes and you write down pages and pages of stuff, and you say you're going to do this, and you're in the meeting, you're rah, yeah, great, this is good. It's got to be in a calendar. You have to set the time for it to do it. And that stuck with me as well, because I have been working on journaling, and I've shared this with you guys. I have my Post-it, and I think I shared it either last week or the week before. My Post-it says, what gets scheduled gets done. So this has been something that has also been sticking with me. I had to put in a Post-it just for the visual cue. But the idea again of putting it on a calendar, writing it down somewhere where you could see it, so that it's a constant reminder, stood out to me. So those 2 things resonated with me. And then I got a text from one of my teammates, Miss Sharina. She said she went home, and I should actually just read the text for you guys. But long story short, do I have it? I should, because we chatted today. Yes. So she sent me this text, like, I don't know, a couple of, like, either Monday or Sunday evening. But she had barely, it was Sunday evening. She hadn't even gotten home yet. So our event was on Saturday, morning to mid-afternoon. And then here we are at the end of Sunday. She said she's not home yet, but she wanted to tell me that she wrote in her calendar. She contacted 30 people yesterday, which was Saturday. And then today, which was Sunday, she contacted another 10. She had gotten one new online order, and two people had placed orders for the Aspira products. So it was just, reinforcement of, look, she got the information, it resonated. She took the action steps of putting in her calendar. And then by actually doing the things that she needed to do, I told her, what we talk about, 5 people a day. Or if you can't do 5 during the week, you do like 25 on the weekend. A homegirl went out and did 30 on the first day, another 10 on the second day, but she put the money where her mouth was, and she was seeing the results. And she was so excited. She wrote to me to tell me that. And that got me excited because I was like, yes, this works. You just got to do it. So for me, you got to put the pedal to the metal. You got to put the action steps together. So here are some action steps, 6 things that I want you guys to practice. These are just things to help you build up your confidence, to break down the resistance, to get you out of your comfort zone and used to doing the things that make you uncomfortable, because only when you're uncomfortable is when you're going to grow. I have a friend, a member of my team, Kimberly, always says growing pains. Like, when you're a kid and your teeth are growing in, of course, it kind of hurts, but you don't want to not have teeth as a kid, right? Or when you're a teenager and you have the growth spurt, it hurts because your bones and your joints and your muscles are doing something strange, but you need that growth to grow. So in the same way, these are things that are going to help you become uncomfortable so that you can grow. And some of them are going to sound a little bit strange, but try it, because there are things that I've tried and there are things that help me say to myself, you know what? That wasn't so bad. What was I afraid of? And just having that mindset was allowing me to think of other things differently. So the first thing is a challenge that I actually got from Tim Ferriss. He's an author, highly successful young man. He had a tip, which was to hold eye contact with strangers. So just to look at people without looking away. Now, I know it sounds crazy and it sounds a little bit creepy, so don't pick the big, scary looking dude on the train. Don't pick the loudmouth who's going off on any and everybody. Just be conscious of what you're doing, but find someone and look at them. Just look dead in their eyes. Just make that eye contact and hold it for a while. What's probably going to happen is they're going to turn and look at you, because you could feel when people are looking at you. The challenge is to not look away. Just keep looking. Just lock eyes and keep looking. They'll turn and look at you. Don't break eye contact. Hold eye contact. What's probably going to happen is they're going to look away first. And take the challenge. Do that for a full 3 days. On your way to work, on the train. The train was fun. I was actually taking the train at that time. The train was interesting. I would just kind of sit down and look at people. Just there. And you always find the person who feels that pull, and they automatically look away. And they might pull back, like, why is this person staring at me? Just, pretend you're daydreaming. Don't grill them. Don't stare them down. I'm not trying to encourage any of you guys to get into fights here. But, just like you're daydreaming. Just deadpan face, looking. Don't break contact. Just look. And then find another person and do the same thing, and just practice that. Now, I have to tell you, this seems like something really small and really minute and really insignificant, but I have to tell you, it felt really empowering for me to do, because I realized, normally when 2 people on the train and you make that contact, the first thing is to look away, like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't need to look at you in your direction. But to just hold that, lock eyes and just look, it just felt really like, okay, I didn't burst into a ball of flame when that person realized that I was looking at them. I didn't disappear. They didn't beat me up. We didn't get into a fight. It didn't matter. And then I moved on. But by doing that, I felt really empowered. And I have to thank Jess for this. I don't know if she's still on, but Jess actually put me onto one of his books. So that was one of the things that I started to do to kind of test my comfort zone. He has a whole list of things that I tried a couple of different ones that were kind of out there, but I did them because he told me to, and I tested them, and nothing happened. I'm obviously still here. The only one I think I didn't do was to sleep on the floor in public. I live in New York. I'm not lying down on the public floor. I was like, I would have to do that on a park bench somewhere nice and clean. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it on the floor. I just couldn't. So that is tip 1. Take 3 days and just make eye contact with people. Then number two is, we're always talking about goals. So I want you to really examine your goal. If at this point you don't have a goal, this is the time to create a goal. Make a goal for yourself. Examine why it is that you're here and what it is that you're trying to accomplish, because this goal is going to be your anchor, your focus point, the thing that keeps you on track in your business. So I want you to examine your goal and make a list, maybe 5 to 10 things that you know you need to do to reach that goal, but that make you uncomfortable. And I want you to make that list from least to most scary. So 1 to 10, one being the thing you are the most afraid to do. It might be, say, public speaking. Number one, terrified of doing it. All the way down to number 10, things that kind of make you uncomfortable, but maybe you're shy about, but you still have to do. Number one might be, I don't know, telling someone that you have a business for yourself. Not like burst into a ball of flame terrified, but like, oh my gosh, I don't know what they're going to think about me. I don't know how they're going to take it. Doesn't matter. Just make a list, 1 to 10, of all the things that you know you need to do. You could put it on your phone. You could put it on a piece of paper. I would recommend, and this is a heavy recommendation because you guys know I am like a technology person, I recommend putting it on a piece of paper just so that you could stick it somewhere where you could see it, whether it's putting it into your journal or in your purse or wherever, just on a mirror in the bathroom, wherever it is by your computer. Put it on a note, 1 to 10, one being the thing that you are the most afraid of doing that will get you close to your goal. Number 10, not so afraid but still afraid. And I'm pretty sure you're probably guessing what number 3 is, but not yet. Number 3 is, so you have a list, 1 to 10, of the things that you're afraid of doing. I want you to make another list of all the things that you think will happen when you do those things. So if, for example, 10 on your list was to tell a friend that about your business, to just introduce them to your business. I don't know, maybe you're afraid to do it because you might be afraid of what they're going to think about you. Maybe you're afraid they're going to laugh at you, or they're going to tell you, "Oh, you can't do that. You'll never be successful." Or maybe they'll say, I don't know, "I don't like your business." Whatever it is, make a parallel list. It's not going to be numbered evenly because you might have things on your list of scary stuff, or the list of things that you need to accomplish, and you might have 3 or 4 things that you're afraid of for each bullet point. But make space for yourself and block out what you're afraid of happening. For the one, like, if, say, public speaking is your number one fear, you're just not getting up in front of a crowd and speaking. What are the things you're afraid of? Are you afraid people won't clap? Are you afraid people will laugh at you? Are you afraid people are going to get up and leave the meeting? Are you afraid that, or are you just afraid of messing up or stumbling on your words? Don't be, because I do it all the time, and I'm still here talking to you guys every week. So FYI. So just make that list of things that you're afraid of happening and put it to paper. The reason I have this on this to-do list is because I think sometimes mentally we tell ourselves, we're afraid of doing something, but we don't really know why. It's just, I don't know, I'm afraid to do it. And once you start to write down why you're afraid to do it, a couple of those things on this list, I tell you, are going to disappear, because you're going to say to yourself, okay, wait, really? I mean, okay. So I tell my friend that I'm in business, that I'm in a business of my own, or I just started my own business. They're my friend. They're really not going to laugh at me. She's always been there for me through thick and thin. And is she going to laugh at me now? Not really. I don't really know why I was afraid of that. So just by verbalizing and articulating the things that you're afraid of, you're going, a lot of the things, or it may not be anything, but doing that step will help you to really think about why it is that you're afraid of what you're afraid of. So make that list, and it might feel hard. Like, don't just make the list of things that you have to do quick, fast, in a hurry, and don't cheat either. And don't say, I'm going to put easy things I'm not really afraid of on this list so I could do them and cross them off. And when you're making the list of things that scare you, don't just say, okay, well, let me do a quick thought, and I don't want to do this because it's scary. Really think about each and everything on your list, whether it's 1 to 5 or 1 through 10. Really analyze why it is that you're afraid. Some of you are going to find that the fear stems from something that happened way back in the day, maybe when you were a child. I know I had a couple of things on my list that I traced back to elementary school. And I was like, really? Really? All this time? That is what's bothering me? So, really, if you take the time, clear out some time in your schedule. Don't do it when you're waiting for the subway train. Do it at a moment where you have a clear head, you've got peace of mind, where you can really think and be comfortable. Also do it in a place where you're alone, because if you're afraid to write it down because you're afraid other people are looking over your shoulder, again, on a crowded train is not going to be the place to do this. But if you're afraid of other people seeing it, you're not going to write it down and you're going to dismiss it. It's going to be that thought that pops up like a little blip, and you're not really going to acknowledge what that thought is. You're just going to be focused on the emotions. But writing it down and taking the time to write it out, you might realize that it's something that's actually really absurd, or something that stems from something way back when. But just writing it down and looking at it, you might mentally think, okay, I don't like to do public speaking because unicorns are going to pop out of people's heads. When you start to write that down, you're going to start thinking, okay, what? So write it down. I see some more people are joining the chat. Miss Cheryl says that she has a workshop this weekend that's coming up and she's looking forward to it. Miss Cheryl, I don't know what region you are in the US, but those workshops are amazing. So I'm glad you're looking forward to it. Miss Anitra G, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Shoshana, hey, Miss Shoshana was also at our workshop. Thank you for joining. Miss Hannah, she says that this is such a good idea. Miss Hannah, really quickly, do you mind if I share your comment in verbally? I'm assuming so because you wrote it, but I just want to make sure. But Miss Hannah shared the thing that she is afraid of. So that is awesome, Miss Hannah, for you to be able to verbalize that. Don't tell, you don't have to tell us why, but make your list of why. What is it that's so scary about doing that thing? And I can tell you that was one of my fears as well. That was one of the things that was on my list. Miss Cheryl says she's in San Diego. Okay, awesome. I think I know who your coaches. I know some of your coaches, so it's going to be a great call. You have some really great speakers. All right, so moving on. So just to recap, number 1, start off by practicing holding eye contact. Number 2, examine your goal. Number 3, make a list of things that you're afraid of happening. And number 4, we're finally there. You knew this was where I was going, but number 4 is it. Number 4 is to pick the least scary thing on your list. So again, one was the scariest, 5 or 10 was the not so scariest, but just kind of nervous. Start off with number 10 and do that thing for 3 days. Just 3 days in a row. Whatever it was, just do it. So your first 3 days, you're just making eye contact with people. Just building up your confidence, building up your immunity, your resistance with just making eye contact. And then you're going to start attacking the things on your list. You're going to take that first thing that you're kind of sort of a little bit nervous about, and you're going to do that thing. You're going to do it the first day, you're going to do it the second day, and you're going to do it the third day. So that is number 4. So number 5 is, after those 3 days of doing that thing on your list that makes you a little bit nervous, then go back to your list and revisit the things that you were afraid of. So again, using the example, I forgot what the example even was. If the last example on your list was a fear of, I don't know what it was, telling your friend that you're in business. Let's say your list of scary things that you thought would happen was that she was going to laugh at you, or she was going to tell you you're not going to be successful. Look at that list now, and now that you've done it, see if what you expected to happen actually happened. Did she laugh? Did she tell you you weren't successful? So also, when you're looking at that list, right now what you're doing is analysis. So I should probably tell you now ahead of time, give yourself enough space on your list, like one column to list the things that you know you need to do that scare you. Second column is to list the things that you think are going to happen when you do the things that you think will scare you. And then the third column now is where you're going to do your analysis, where you're going to put your notes and your remarks, so to speak. So now that you've done the thing, you're going to look at your list and see what happened. Did your fear really come true? If it did, it's probably not going to, but if it did, how do you feel? What happened? Did you melt into a puddle on the floor and like just curl up in a ball and suck your thumb? You probably brushed it off, kept on going. You obviously survived because now you're back at your list writing, right? So go back to your list and think about what happened. Take some time to weigh the positive and the negative. So again, worst case scenario, maybe the thing that you were afraid of happened, but maybe she laughed at first, but she said, you know what, girl, I got you. Give me a book. Let me see what you have. I'll buy something. So maybe the thing on your list happened. She did laugh, but you just got a new customer. Weigh the positives and the negatives. Maybe you did it, the thing you were afraid of happened, and you realized that it wasn't really that bad anyway. So that would be a positive. It's going to be different for everyone. It's going to be different according to the things that you have on your list. But again, this time to analyze and reflect is going to be really helpful. So number 5 is also to move on to the next thing on your list. So if you did number 10, you analyzed it. Now it's time to do number 9. Again, give yourself 3 days, do the thing that you're afraid of, come back to the list and analyze. So this will probably get you through your first, I don't know, 3 if you had a list of 5, or your first 4 if you had a list of 10. Because these are the things that, for the most part, just kind of made you uncomfortable. But somewhere on that list, you're going to get to a point where you're like, okay, I don't think I could do this. This right here is just, I don't know if I can do this. At that point, I want you to do number 6, which is to partner with someone else. Partnerships are huge for a multitude of reasons. One of the reasons is because when you're a partner with someone, first and foremost, you have someone there, someone to kind of make light of the situation, to laugh it off with. I remember, you guys know, because I've shared this before, I was a really shy person. Forget public speaking. I just wasn't talking to people. Just whether I knew you were or not, whether you were a close and personal friend of the family, conversation and I were just not, like my little school friends I was okay with, but there were just some people, mostly adults, I didn't want to talk to. But if I had a friend there, so like for events with prospecting, it was hard for me because there were all these strangers that I not only had to talk to converse with. It was hard enough for me to say hi, how you doing, you have really great shoes. It was just unthinkable for me to share a business opportunity. Even if it was something that was going to help that person, I was just so afraid. I don't even really know why now, but it scared me. So in the beginning, it really helped me to go out with someone else, whether it was a district manager or a friend. Because let's say, for example, my fear was that that person would say no to me. I think saying no was probably hearing a no was probably one of my biggest issues. Um, if I tried to speak with or share with that person, if they said no, I could always just turn to my friend, laugh it off, joke it off. It, wasn't a big deal. And my friend, of course, knew what my fear was. So it wasn't creating a situation of embarrassment. It was kind of like, okay, I did it and that didn't go so well, but it's okay. I'm still here. We're going to try it again. Yes. All right, let's go. So just to have that friend. So find someone that, is going to be a good support for you, who's going to be there for you, who you could do the thing that you're afraid of with, and have it be okay if it goes south, or if it goes well, that you can celebrate with. And then the second reason that having someone there with you does is, let's say, for example, try to find someone that you're coaching. I think one of the ways that I grew the most in this, in my business, and even as a person, was when I was trying to coach someone else. Because even though I was scared, I didn't want to show the other person that it was scary, because I didn't want to make them scared. So I hid my fear and I was extra bold because I wanted to make the other person feel comfortable. And you know how we are, especially just as human beings, we don't want to bring other people into a scary situation. We don't want to create fear and anxiety for them. We want to do our best to help the other person, to encourage them, to make them feel good. So even in scary situations, even though you might be afraid, you kind of boss up a little bit because you know you don't want to make that other person feel a little scared. So in the beginning for me, when I was doing recruiting events with my team, I was still afraid to talk to strangers, but I didn't want my teammate to feel my fear. And I knew that they were afraid because I knew what it was like to be in their position. So I wanted to be the reassuring one for them. So, if stuff did go in a way that I was just like, oh, normally I would just packed up my stuff and left if I was by myself. Being with them, I was just like, don't worry about it. It happens. No big deal. Moving on. And in doing that, I realized that the words I was using to reassure and encourage the other person were words that were reassuring and encouraging to me. And, they say fake it till you make it. I eventually became moved to the point where I believed what I was saying, and I realized, not for nothing, but I'm not bursting into a ball of flame. When people say no, either I never see that person again, or the next time I see them, I've got a cruise to Bermuda. So I don't really care what they think. So those things, and again, what I was saying earlier about, accomplishing stuff and having that help you to overcome your nervousness. Yeah, sometimes it's intimidating to go prospecting, and sometimes it's a little bit scary to tell people that I'm in business for myself, that I'm an entrepreneur, because once you say it, it's real, right? But knowing that the stuff that I have accomplished has helped me to say it more boldly. So when you go out and you try the thing that you're afraid of, and you're going out with someone who hasn't tried what you've done, and they're still a little bit nervous about it, you can say, you know what? I did it and I'm still here. You can do it too, and you will still be here to tell someone else down the line that this does not kill you. So those are two reasons that it's really great to have a partner with you. Just being with someone else just makes it less scary and less intimidating. But it also will help you to be less concerned with your own feelings. You put that on the back burner to make sure that you can help this other person. It's just how we are as human beings. We want to help people. So pull someone in. They say that the best way to learn something too is to teach it. So that applies to when you're practicing your skills, or doing the steps that you need to do. Miss Hannah, good idea might be for you to do your fear with someone else. The both of you sit together and do the thing that scares you, or partner with someone else on your team to do that thing that scares you. I'm pretty sure you're a good and kind and loving and wonderful person. You're not going to be panicked, because you're going to be like, you know what? We need to do this. I'm going to show you how to do this, and we are going to do it well. And you're going to do the thing that you're afraid of. So those are my 6 steps to help you to break out of your comfort zone and overcoming the fears of whatever it is that you have that's hindering you from success. Now, I'm telling you, there are things on my list that I'm working on. And there are things that I've done in the past that the reason I tell you to repeat it is because sometimes just doing it one off, you can do it and just kind of live through the fear and anxiety, but still be afraid of it. I want you to do it for like 3 days in a row, or a week in a row, or a week in a row, a full week, so that you can keep attacking the fear while it's without it having a chance to grow. It's like you're at war. You keep pounding the enemy, you'll eventually knock it down. You won't give it a chance to grow, get bigger, and overwhelm you. You just kind of keep it at bay. So by practicing these things, I'm hoping that it will help you guys as it's helped me, as it's helping me, because I'm still going through a lot of these things. But one of the things for me, YouTube or Facebook Live, I was like, what? Speak in front of people live? Do you hear how I speak? I'm constantly tripping over myself. I was like, how am I going to speak to people? Who's going to want to listen to me? What do I have to teach? And there were all these things in my head, and I just said one day, let's just do it. If I'm going to ask my team to do it, I need to know that I could do it myself. I did it. We've been doing it for over a year now, and I'm loving it. And I'm thankful and happy that you guys joined and watched. Couldn't have this without you. 100%. So, you'll find support. And I guarantee that a lot of the things that you're afraid of, other people are afraid of it too. But what's important is that you overcome it, and your story will become something that encourages someone else down the line. So, if nothing else, when you're weighing the positives and the negatives to having done the things that you have, even if it's like the worst possible scenario, you're still alive. You didn't burst into a ball of flame, and now you have this story to share to encourage someone else. Usually, that last one kind of gets me because I'm like, yeah. I do want my team to feel good about this. I do want other people to feel empowered. I do want to help other people. I'll do it. You put on your straps, you buckle up in your vest, you get your sword and your shield, and you go to battle. So hope this helps you guys. I hope you go out and start knocking down those fears, and I can't wait to hear about the things that you accomplish. So we've got what, today's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. By next Tuesday you should be able to do your little staring contest and the first thing on your list. So I'm hoping I'll hear some excited testimonies and wins for the week of people just doing the things that were on their list that they're afraid of. Okay, so thank you guys for watching, and maybe next week I'll share, if you remind me, some of the things that I had to do from my list that were scary and intimidating to me. So if you've gotten this far in this stream, be here next week to remind me of this. Hopefully next week is Avon sales meeting. So the week after, remind me the week after. Next week we won't be here live. We're going to do the Avon home office meeting. So we're going to be on their system. There won't be a live stream next week. So if you come here, I won't be here. I will be there. But thank you guys so much for joining and watching and chatting with me. I'm so excited to hear your wins and see you overcome these challenges for next week. Create that momentum, make your calendar, write it down, get it done, and just be a boss, guys. Have a great day. Bye.